Blume edit. The Blume edit. The Blume edit.
The Blume
edit. The Blume edit.
You're listening to The Blume Edit, where we talk all things beauty, business, and being unfiltered. I'm your host, Kia, from Blume Aesthetics. Welcome back to The Blume Edit. I'm Kia from Blume Aesthetics, and today I'm so excited to sit down with someone who's turned mornings into a whole lot easier and healthier. She's the co-owner of the overnight oats brand, Made Monday, and she's here to share the story behind building a business that's all about wellness, balance, and feeling good from the inside out. Please welcome Miranda. How are you?
That was so nice.
I hope it was accurate.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thanks for coming. We were sort of talking before that this is your first in-person podcast.
Yeah.
So hopefully not too intimidating, but
I know, you look so professional as well.
we know each other pretty well now, so I think it's just a chat.
Beautiful.
Well, let's start from the beginning. So where did the idea for Made Monday come from?
So my business partner and I had been sharing our passion for health and fitness, honestly, because she lives in Melbourne for probably the last 6 years. We met online on social media and we just felt like we connected it in a way that was really obsessed with food, and we love making content, and we were both going through this phase of health and fitness and trying to balance that with our 9 to 5s. And I think that for a lot of people, especially that work in 9 to 5s, living a healthy lifestyle, one, can be hard to balance, and two, they need an outlet from their corporate jobs, and a lot of the time that's alcohol and drinking. So when we started sharing everything online, we had a lot of people remaking our recipes and I guess feeling that sense of connection that we felt with each other. And it kind of just got to a point where we were look, people are just asking us for these recipes over and over and over again, but they also are really struggling with the ability to balance health and wellness with working a 9 to 5, being a mum, working, studying, all of these things. So we wanted to create a product that bridged the gap between something that was really convenient, which might be your supermarket oats that you just pour from a packet, add water, add milk, pop it in the microwave, but then also something that has the nutritional benefits that you're after that usually require a bit of extra time to prepare or require a bunch of different ingredients, that end up costing a lot. I know so many people that are I've got this bag of chia seeds and what am I going to do with it? I'm using 1 teaspoon and then I don't know what to do with the rest. Or protein powder, they don't have the confidence to use protein powder in a lot of different recipes, and they don't want to, but they still want the benefits that come with some. So that's essentially where the idea came from. It was just simplifying and bridging the gap between something that tasted yummy, something that was convenient, and it meant that you didn't have to go and buy a bunch of different products.
And I know for me, something like that, where there's heaps of nutrition, like you said, there's probably a bit of protein, things like that, to then have those macros in front of me, I don't have to work it out myself. That's something really important because, like you said, busy lifestyle, but also it's not just about quick. It's quick and nutritious.
Yeah,
getting everything in that you need.
Yeah, definitely. And I also think that in the health and wellness space, there's such a huge difference between the whole macro benefits where you might be getting the protein, the carbs, the fiber you need, but then to be able to get those benefits, they're also putting in so many artificial sweeteners and colours and flavours and all these other things that if you look on the back of the packet, you don't know what there is. And then on the other hand, there's a lot of people that go down this route of whole foods, but then they still want to, say, lose weight. But unfortunately, if you are trying to lose weight, but you're eating a shitload of dates, they're quite high in carbs and sugar. And then having that understanding is really difficult for a lot of people. So we just wanted to be able to break the confusion and just make people feel confident about what they're eating.
And so when you first started, what were those early days like? Did you always think this would become such a strong brand like it is?
I think we did, just because of the fact that we had so much demand from our recipes previously. I think that we both had so much excitement towards branching out into so many different things and wanting to bring in so many products that we probably didn't have enough backing ourselves that one product could be so successful. We saw our business more down the track of having all of these different recipes as, say, banana bread, pancake mixes, which we do hope to bring out one day. But for the time being, especially as a small business, it's so much easier and more beneficial for your consumers in terms of the price that you can sell products at, and for us to just be able to scale based on oats, which I think is something that we really underestimated, that one product could be like such a convenience product for people and something that just becomes a morning staple.
And I think a lot of people sort of say, when you've got something good, stick to it. Like it's like,
definitely,
you can become the expert in that field. It's something quite similar we talk about in our industry. A lot of clinics offer like everything, and it's like, how can you specialize? How can you know everything about everything? Why wouldn't you just sort of have a niche offering and attract, certain audience for that? But then you can also, later on down the track, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. And especially while you're trying to build a brand, it's really important that people know what they're coming to you for. And I think having a singular product range or service and then being able to build your business off that and just building the reputation, the association makes people feel confident about what they're buying into, so that then once you do branch out into other things, they already have that confidence. You don't need to like resell them.
Yeah, for sure. And so for food and wellness is such a competitive space at the moment. It's like you said, it's, people are kind of wanting that quick fix, but also wanting to stay healthy. What do you think makes Made Monday stand out?
It's funny that you say that, because when we first launched, there were a few big other supplement brands, and they're still now bringing out products that are really similar to what we're doing. And at the time, not that we lacked confidence, but it was obviously really daunting because we bootstrapped our business, so we'd invested so much money into it from the start. And I guess we just had to really flip our perspective and think that it's such a compliment that other businesses with such like scale see so much potential in this kind of product, and that there's such a market for it. And I think that there's always going to be people that compete with you, and people that are businesses that are bigger and better and that can do things a different way. But if you just stick to what you know, and we both come up with like the flavors, we know that the taste profile, we know as both consumers and as recipe developers, and something that we think really makes us stand out compared to other people is that we're not just a business trying to create a product that fits both nutrition and, say, price point from a manufacturing perspective. And then we're not, say, just like a chef who doesn't take into account the profitability of the business as long as it tastes good. We're kind of come at it from both ways. Yeah. And I think that that's just allowed us to have a product that hits the nail in every single sense from get-go.
Was it always intentional to position the brand more of a lifestyle rather than just a product?
I think it was when we first engaged my husband and some other people, because he specialises in brand. He was really trying to remind us, because we as well forget there's so many brands that you buy into, and you become sold on a brand not because necessarily of the exact product. It's the way it makes you feel and the lifestyle and what you see the potential of your days being. And that's what we really had to tap into, because it is so much more than food. And at the end of the day, like you said, there are so many other brands that can replicate an exact product that you bring out. That's not hard to do. So if you don't have some kind of emotion attached to it, then I think you're going to struggle to grow.
Same again, like in our clinic, like we offer like a journey, or we offer like an experience for people. We essentially, our treatments are the same as everyone else, right? Like
Definitely.
We've not invented anything new, but you've got to make someone feel special enough to want to pick you.
It's the experience.
The experience.
Yeah, like I love coming to Blume because I love the chats that we have.
Yeah.
I love how beautiful the clinic is. Yeah. I know that if I ever had any questions or concerns, I could message you straight away. And it's that goes beyond just getting any kind of service.
So you're running this business as a co-owner.
Yeah.
How do you find working in a partnership and balancing roles?
I think that the hardest thing for both of us is that we don't have an on and off switch. So because we're best friends in different states and we literally talk 24/7, we might have the intention to have a business call, and then it turns into something else, and then it's an hour and a half later and we forget what we actually called for, and vice versa. We call and say, look, let's just have a chat and like not talk work, and then we'll both be sparked with an idea. So I think that having boundaries is probably our biggest struggle. We do try and separate our roles a little bit. I do more of the accounting side of things, and then she does a bit more of like the fulfillment and packing orders. And that does help a lot, but we do overlap in a lot of things, especially because it is just the both of us at the moment.
So it's just you two? And your husband?
He does all of our branding, and we do outsource some marketing and photography and things like that. But at the moment, it's just both of us.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. And so when business gets stressful, what's your go-to ritual or reset?
Probably going for a walk, honestly. I'm loving that it's coming into summer because when the sunshine is out, I just feel like going for a walk in the sun, like nothing else compares. I don't know if it's a combination of the fresh air, the sunshine on your skin, listening to something, or even just calling a friend and then getting like the blood pumping. It just makes you feel so much better, especially when you feel stressed or tired or unmotivated. It's just like, just makes you feel, makes you feel refreshed. Yeah. It's so nice.
Well, you've built such a strong brand presence online. You're constantly creating content. Every time, even when you come in to clinic, you've got your tripod. You've got your tripod here today. How do you stay motivated and keep coming up with fresh ideas?
Staying motivated is really hard, and I do think that a lot of my friends and I will just have calls and we're like, oh, I'm just not feeling inspired. But at the end of the day, I do love what I do, and I'm so grateful that it is my job. I honestly am still sometimes in shock when I wake up that this is my career, especially coming from someone who worked a very stressful corporate job for 10 years. So I just try and take a bit of a step back, and I think one of the biggest things that makes people struggle is comparison and just over-consuming. And as much as I'm on my phone a lot, in terms of like working and editing, I never scroll on social media. I don't have the mental capacity for it. Yeah. And it's funny because people message me or be like, did you see this? Did you see that? And I'm like, no, like I can't. And I also think that if you start seeing things online, you'll start comparing and doubting yourself, and just not being naive is like bliss or whatever the saying is. It really is such a big help.
Yeah, and I think having like so much to do with social media, like you do all your content and stuff, like it's exhausting.
Yeah.
To then like it's almost not enjoyable. People doom scroll, and it's like that's actually not enjoyable. I'm the same as you. Yeah.
No, it's not. And then it's really hard to think of something that's individual or unique or putting your own spin on something. Like it's okay to get inspiration and ideas from someone, but if you're constantly just like over consuming, is it analysis paralysis? Yeah. Because I'm just like, what am I doing? Yeah. Like I can't remember what my own idea was, or if it's because I've seen something, or if it's because I was dreaming or in the shower and I came up with it.
Yeah. Well, at Blume, we're all about beauty and confidence, as you know. So for you, how does wellness and nutrition play into feeling good about yourself?
So many ways. Energy, definitely. Skin health, hair health. Just the way that I feel in my digestion. I used to struggle really bad with irritable bowel syndrome when I was younger, and that's funny enough when I worked a corporate job, and I always thought that it was gluten. And I was like, oh, I can't eat pasta, I can't eat bread, all of these things. And then literally as soon as I quit my job, I was like, I don't get stomach issues anymore. So I honestly think that it comes down just to the way it makes you feel. I obviously still get, stomach issues and things like that, especially hormonal. But when I eat well and I drink a lot of water and I do daily movement, I just feel better about myself mentally, physically, all the things. And it's just a flow-on effect. It makes you feel happier, then it makes you nicer, and then you have better relationships, and then you feel better about yourself, so you want to keep eating better. There's nothing worse than when you feel shit about yourself, and then it's almost like a poor me mentality, and just being, I'm just going to sit on the couch and eat some chocolate.
Like sometimes we can do that, but not all the time. Because like you said, you get into that cycle of then keep doing it. I did it, I had some chocolate this morning, I'll have some more chocolate tonight.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's not a matter of necessarily whether you do it or not. It's, are you doing it from like the perspective of like hating yourself, or are you doing it because it's like, oh, I'm so excited to eat this. Like I love chocolate. Like chocolate is my one vice. And every single Saturday night, it's like a date night with my husband and I, and we'll always like watch a movie and eat chocolate. And I'm so excited to look forward to it. It's not like I'm sitting on the couch feeling like shit doing it, And I think allowing yourself to do it means, it's not a self-loathing
Yeah, you don't feel
exercise.
guilty. Yeah. Do you have any beauty or self-care rituals that you swear by?
I do love a good face yoga, gua sha. I think that it's probably one of the only times that I like really focus and spend time doing my skincare. And I've always wanted to be one of the girls that will just spend, like a good 10 minutes like massaging my oils and skincare in. But it's not my personality. I'm a go person. So if I do that, you kind of don't have a choice but to be like, 20 on this side, 20
And I think,
on this
do
side,
you ice? Do I see you ice your
Sometimes, well, I've been doing it the last week because my skin was quite hot from my Cosmolan. Yeah. But look, I don't love an ice, but it definitely does help with puffiness. Yeah.
Well, now I have to ask, so you were saying your husband, congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you.
You just got married in Italy, which looked absolutely stunning, by the way. Can you tell us a bit about that experience?
Look, it was a very shortly prepared wedding. We only decided in January that we were going to get married, and then given Italy is pretty much closed down for winter, it was pretty much planned like the last 2 to 3 months before leaving. But we had quite an intimate wedding. There was only 18 people in total, and we're just so lucky that our close friends and family were able and willing to travel. So as long as they were there, I was pretty cruisy with how everything went. I found the venue, and at the time I was like, oh, imagine if we got married here. And then we always joke about when we say that we want something, we're like, oh no, because it just ends up happening. And when I saw that, I was like, oh no, this is bad because we're going to be getting married here. And then 6 months later, there we were.
And made for such pretty photos.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Was it difficult juggling your wedding planning and running a business, or did you find a way to make it all work?
It was like we had a wedding planner, but at the end of the day, all the decisions come back to you. They can help to liaise with vendors and the venue and all of those things, but they're more just like a middleman. At the end of the day, they're sending it to you, and then you still have to be the one that makes a call, read through the menus, and a lot of stuff that we got was in Italian. So here I was like translating it, especially the menus, which took a long time. So I definitely underestimated the amount of work that still goes into it. I thought having a wedding planner meant that I sat back. No.
And like when we had a wedding planner, she was pretty good. I think she picked up on the fact that we didn't have much time. So she would literally come to us with like 2 options, and she'd be like, cheap, expensive, choose, and we'd be like, cheap, like, or expensive, so she really picked up. They do make such a difference, but you're right, there's always still decision making.
You're still the one that makes the decisions.
So what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given about business or life?
Ooh, that's a
if
good
any
one.
Have you had any guidance? Have you had anyone like a mentor in business?
I did actually have a mentor for a little while, but I feel like I really resonate sometimes with quotes, and I'm going to probably butcher it, but there's a few quotes that have really, I guess, like triggered something in me. And one of them, as I said, I'm going to butcher it, but it was like, if you have to knock on 20 doors and know that every single door is going to say no, and then the 21st door is going to say yes, you would start knocking straight away.
Yeah.
And I guess the meaning behind it is just that you're never going to get like a yes or like that, the sense of like confidence until you start. So you just kind of have to start. And the other one is that ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And I think that was huge for me, especially when I left my corporate job, because I was so scared going from something that was stable, also something that I'd studied 6 years for, to then going self-employed and then investing pretty much like all of our savings into a business that I had no idea how it was going to go. And then being self-employed meant that I had very inconsistent income. Yeah, it was scary, but I am so glad that I did it, and I'd never look back. But if I didn't kind of have those reminders in the back of my head all the time, then I'd probably still be sitting at a desk.
Yeah, and I think you gain from risks. So many people aren't willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
But you've kind of got to, like, otherwise you're going to be stuck doing the same thing forever.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and the only person that is going to be disappointed is you.
So, of course, I have to ask, which Made Monday flavour is your all-time favourite?
We actually have a new one coming soon, which is my favourite. I was going to bring it, but we only got like 2 samples and I've eaten them all.
You've eaten them? What is that?
Biscoff.
Oh, I was going to say, it must be Biscoff.
Yeah, it's a flavour that we've been working on for so long.
Amazing.
And just like, I don't feel like any brands have nailed like a good Biscoff. It's either a bit too cinnamony or it doesn't even taste like Biscoff. It's just like caramel. So like that's been a really hard one for us to nail, but I think that's my new favourite. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I love that. And speaking of flavours, we're actually about to do something a little bit fun. So Miranda has brought along a few Made Monday overnight oats, and I'm going to be doing a blinded taste test to see if I can pick the flavours. So let's get into it.
It's just a little teaspoon, so you don't need to open your mouth too big. You can do all of them if you want and then guess at the end.
Okay, yeah. Tell me all the flavours.
Chocolate, honey and cinnamon, and vanilla.
Oh. All right, then maybe this. I feel like I can taste a bit of cinnamon, but maybe this is the vanilla. Is this the vanilla? Wait, you have to tell me afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Otherwise, I'll work it out.
Is there some kind of noise? All right.
What is...
Yeah.
Okay. This has to be the chocolate. Okay. I mean, I hope. You're lucky because I always say if I was stranded on a deserted island and I could only pick one food to have for the rest of my life, I've always said it will be oats. So these will be
very versatile.
And these will be nutritious. Okay. This is the cinnamon. This is the honey and cinnamon. That was the vanilla, and then the chocolate was the second one.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Woo! How good. So yummy.
I can't believe you didn't drop any on yourself.
Well, that was delicious. Thank you so much for bringing them for me to eat.
What was your favourite flavour?
Like you, I'm a chocolate girl, so the chocolate was my favourite for sure.
Wow,
Felt like a little
I was not
sweet
expecting
treat.
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, chocolate. Absolutely.
Love that.
Well, Miranda, it's been such a pleasure chatting with you. From building Made Monday to your Italian wedding and how you keep showing up with so much motivation. I know our listeners will take so much from your story. For anyone wanting to try Made Monday, we'll link everything in the show notes. Thank you again for joining us, and thank you for everyone listening to the Blume Edit. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next week. This is the Blume Edit, unfiltered, unscripted, and unapologetic. Subscribe now and tune in weekly.